Huh. And we lost connection again. Mesh Wi-Fi systems are great when you have a large environment and you want to blanket in Wi-Fi signals, but of course you're going to need a bunch of different hubs. So today we're looking at a very inexpensive way to do this with AC1200 connectivity. We have the Vilo Mesh Wi-Fi System 3-pack, which allows us to blanket 4,500 square feet with Wi-Fi coverage. So you can probably do some quick math here. If you just get one of these, because you have a smaller environment, it covers up to 1,500 square feet, which is enough for a small house or an apartment. But if you want to cover more, get more of these, connect them all together, and you should be golden. Now really, I'm really curious. How many times can I say really? A lot of times, because this right here, this setup is extremely inexpensive. So if it actually functions as it's intended, I'm gonna be very impressed, because usually if you want to get this kind of coverage, it's gonna cost you a lot of money. We're looking at dual band Wi-Fi support for both 2.4 and 5 gigahertz networks. We have 3 gigabit Ethernet ports so you can direct connect to the routers themselves, as well as parental controls, guest networks, device management, and more with the app on your phone. You're able to cover up to 4,500 square feet with fast and reliable Wi-Fi connections, connect up to 120 devices throughout your home, and set up your home Wi-Fi in minutes with the Vilo app. And it's all in this very sleek package, and to be honest, I just realized how small this package is, and there's 3 of these things in here? What? That's impossible. There's no way this thing's gonna work as intended, but I'm ready to be shocked and surprised. Inside the box, we have a quick start guide. Whoa, we got a box inside of the box. Okay, inside of this box, we have 3 power adapters, along with a flat white Ethernet cable that looks very nice. These are actually smaller than the box. I thought they were gonna be bigger than... Oh my god, they're so small. There's no way. Like, these are so small, so cute. It's really everything. There's no way. This could be amazing. So let's see. We got the first one here. Let me just pop this out of the plastic. Bruh. That might not be good, but bruh, look at this thing. It's so small, so nice looking, very simple design. Up top, we have some Vilo branding. Around here on the front, we have a little button. Over here on the back, we have 3 gigabit Ethernet ports, a reset button, and a power port for power. Down here on the bottom, we have some rubberized feet to give it some nice grip, and it does work. And seriously, like, I'm really impressed with, like, look how small this thing is. We got my hand. We got an iPhone 12 Pro Max. We have the power cable. Like, this is just tiny. There is no way that this will actually function how I'm planning for it to. And remember, we got 3 of these things. One of them covers 1,500 square feet. 2 of them cover 3,000 square feet. And 3 of them cover 4,500 square feet. Like, you just set them up. Like, one at the modem, one over here, and then everywhere is covered. This is just so small. Wow. I'm ready. Alright, so now I got them all plugged in. I got them connected to the modem. I got a second one halfway between here and the modem, and then I got the third one here because I had nowhere else to put it. And then we could look at it too, I guess. Why not? So you're going to go into your app store, download the Vilo app or the Vilo app, whatever they're going by. We're going to open that up. You're going to register your account, verify your email, and once you're set and ready to go, we're going to add a Vilo. We're going to allow it to connect to devices on our local network. So you have any Vilo, your modem, power adapter, and Ethernet cable. We're ready to go. Power supply, Ethernet. Yeah, this is pretty simple stuff. Scan the QR code on the bottom of the Vilo to connect. All right, so I went back to the modem and scanned the router that was actually connected to the modem, and it does make sense that they all have different names and passwords, because you could just keep buying more of these to blanket block if you want to, I guess. So I scanned it. Let's tap on join, and we're connected just like that. So we can add it to our account. It's working on it. It should take 30 seconds, no more. Success, we are connected. You can edit Wi-Fi settings so you can change the name and password if you want. We'll just leave it like this for now. Setup is complete. So now we can add another Vilo. So we're going to add it to an existing Wi-Fi network because we already created one with that first one from the same package. Yeah, maybe they are linked together somehow. So we'll say the same package. They don't need to be configured. Simply place your Vilo in a desired location within the coverage and power it on and wait about 1 minute. And we do have a firmware upgrade, so we're going to want to upgrade now, of course. All right, so here they all are. So I'm not sure why it's not solid blue. That's kind of weird. But let's see, current firmware, we're going to update all of them. Yeah, sure, go for it. Alright, so now that we got the upload complete, I'm going to actually do some testing. As far as standing right next to the main router, I was able to pull 500 megabits per second down and 33 megabits per second up. Now I'm paying for 1 gigabit per second down and 35 megabits per second up, which is dreadful, but it looks like we were able to pull half of that standing right there on a wireless connection. Right after this, I walked over to the second access point, which is halfway between me right here and the original router and modem, and I was able to pull 471 megabits per second down and 34.1 megabits per second up, which is definitely acceptable. Now this is a little bit concerning. This third one still hasn't been connected to the network, which is weird because I thought they would connect to each other, but from what I am understanding from this setup is this actually has to connect to the main router, which is too far away to reach this one. So this one is effectively useless right now, so I might as well unplug it completely because we can't use it. Very disappointing. So it looks like you need to have the main router and modem in the center and then have all the beacons go around it. I didn't know that was how it worked. I'm not sure if that's how it works, but it's at least how this system works right here. Very disappointing. So right now I'm still connected to the secondary one, which is halfway between me and the original router and modem. So let's do a little speed test again. And it looks like we're pulling, okay, a pretty respectable, about 150 megabits per second down. Not too bad with a 14 millisecond ping. As well as, what are we doing, about 30 megabits per second up? 27? And it looks like we're roughly touching, well, it looks like about 28 megabits per second up. So, you know, not too bad, although for the upload speed, I would expect to max out at 35 no matter what. So that's disappointing that this one is useless, and getting the network connection from there all the way to me isn't possible to get it as strong as possible because this beacon doesn't connect to the other beacon and create a chain linking me over to here. I thought that's how it would work, but I guess that's not how it works. And then as far as being connected to this third one, it looks like we're pulling about 74 megabits per second down, and the upload speed, is that it? 3 megabits per second up, and it was really jittery, and it looks like I just lost connection. We're still stuck at about 3.5 megabits per second up. Huh. And we lost connection again. You see, I'm not sure what's going on here, but it looks like this third one is having trouble staying connected to the network, perhaps? Which doesn't make sense if each one of these little guys is supposed to cover 1,500 square feet. Now, as far as the app goes, it's actually very nice, very clean. We can go to the system dashboard right here. We can see the system status. We can see the firmware updates. We can see regular restart scheduled, band steering, which is going to connect you automatically to 5 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz, depending on your device, but we're going to turn that off. Now you can have 2 separate networks, of course. You can adjust your encryption all the way up to WPA2, it looks like, so it's not the latest and greatest. And then we have password security, encryption, signal strength, and all this different stuff. Down here we can see the signal strength of each individual beacon. As you can see, we have the main one, which is connected directly to the modem, the second one, which has full bars connected to the original router, and then this one, which is just not connected whatsoever. We can see the number of devices and the signal strength connected to the network. We have just this phone right now. We have one, and it is a good signal. Over here back on the main screen, we can see our Vilos. Of course, I have those 2, and then this one's useless right now. You can also add more down here at the bottom. And it looks like I got disconnected from the network, so signal strength isn't very good because I'm not that far from the beacon that's between me and the modem, and to be fair, I'm not that far from the main router and the modem to begin with, so it's a little concerning that I can't reach the network out here. But the good news is I can still use the app just connected to the internet because it's all on the cloud. So then next we can see parental controls. You're able to add devices and set how much time limits and unwanted websites you don't want them to be able to access. You can go to guest Wi-Fi and set up a guest Wi-Fi network. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And that's actually very cool. You can actually adjust the duration so the network is automatically killed after a certain amount of time. or you can have it on forever. So that's actually very nice. I haven't seen that before. We have the usage report, so you can actually enable this and see how much data is being used on the network, which is very cool, especially if you have data caps, although I'm not sure how many people have those, but if you have them, that sucks. Get rid of those. We can restart the Wi-Fi right here, and then right here we can actually see the whole setup. We have the main Vilo, the second beacon, and then the third one, which is useless. Really, the whole network is useless coming over here, and I'm not that far. I'm not that far. I mean, there's walls, but really, it's not that far. If this would connect to the other beacon, I'd be golden. Alright, so with some trial and error, I've come to the conclusion that this setup is basically useless for me because you can't daisy chain them all together in a line, connecting beacon to beacon to beacon to beacon to create a long chain of connection. You have to connect each beacon to the main router, otherwise it's basically useless. So, with that being said, this setup isn't very good to begin with, because if each beacon is supposed to cover 1,500 square feet, the secondary beacon should definitely reach me right now, because it's literally right there. Now it's going through a door and a wall, but it is right there. So there's no way that 1,500 square feet can't reach me right here. So with all this being said, I'm not sure each individual beacon is actually covering 1,500 square feet, because if it was, this would definitely have full bars right now, because the other beacon is literally right there. Come on, it's right there. There's no way that 1,500 square feet can't reach through a door to right here. That's impossible. The range is kind of terrible, to be honest. I mean, if it was 1,500 square feet, the original one should definitely reach me, but it looks like it's not reaching me, and then these ones can barely go through a door to each other. So I don't know. I guess I can see why the price is so cheap, although I really do like the design. They're super small, sleek, cuddly, amazing looking. The signal strength is just where the problem is. So maybe that's just because they're so small and there's nowhere to put all the antennas. I don't know. But personally, I'm not going to be using these because they're just not working for me, and it would be a nightmare and give me a headache every time I try to connect to it, and then this one just happens to not connect because it's too far away and it can't go through that door.